Hi, this is Will Wild, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down the harmonica style of Howlin' Wolf, taking some cues from How Many More Years. Alright, so he's using a regular C harp on this. You can see he's not using an amp or a handheld mic, he's just playing through the vocal mic. But he's getting a very intense, kind of aggressive, gritty, bluesy sound. So obviously that sound isn't coming from the gear that he's using, it's coming from him. So in terms of the notes that he's playing, he's not actually playing anything that complicated, but it's about the way that he plays those notes. So I'm going to break it down for you and show you how you can get that sound. Alright, so we're starting with... So the main thing here really is tone and vibrato. So you can hear before he even goes into the solo, he's just kind of exhaling out through the harp. Something that a lot of players do. I know I do it all the time. People will often ask, where do you breathe? Well, you can breathe through the harp in the spaces between the licks. So that's how he's coming into this. Just a kind of open mouth, roundabout holes 2, 3, and 4, not with an airtight seal, because we're not really playing that chord. It's just, we're breathing out before we launch into the solo. So then he's sliding or glissandoing up into this double stop. So there's kind of a combination of nuances going on here. So if you start out by scooping up on the 4 draw, and by scooping I mean starting that 4 draw on a bend and quickly letting the bend up, and as you let the bend up to the natural note, bring in the throat vibrato. Right, so I cover vibrato in my blues course in a lot of detail. There's several exercises in there you can use to build up to this, but I haven't got time to go through all that right now. In its simplest form, it's just making this noise from your throat whilst inhaling. So scoop up from the bend. As soon as the bend comes up, we're doing this. And he's not just playing it as a single note. So he's not just playing the 4 draw, he's allowing a bit of 5 draw in there as well. So listen to what happens when I let that 5 draw bleed in. Okay, so it's basically adding grit, right? So this is called a double stop. So that's a lot of the time when beginners are sort of looking for that dirty, nasty kind of Chicago blues sound, and they're searching for the right amp and mic that they think is going to get them that sound. I think a lot of the time this is actually what they're looking for. And when you combine that double stop with this intense throat vibrato, you get this really big sound. So okay, then he's coming down to the root note, which is the 2 draw, and he's got a very, very wide vibrato on this. So the way you get the vibrato that wide, while you're doing this throat vibrato on the inhale, if you start to pull your tongue back and transition your mouth shape as if you were going to a bend. So if I go too much, I end up pulling the overall pitch of the note right down. We don't want that. We still want to keep this pitch in mind, but make the vibrato as wide as possible. So far we have. Okay, so just the same lick repeated again. Let's move on. So there's a little variation here. This time, instead of playing that double stop, he's playing. So that's a 4 bend. Let the bend up, and then go to hole 5. And then back to the 4 bend. And then 3 draw, 2 draw. And you can hear he's adding that really intense wide vibrato again every time he hits the root. So an important thing about vibrato, important kind of lesson I've learned with it over time, is it's much more effective when you don't put it on every note you play. Especially when you first start to get good at vibrato, you might want to like put it on everything. And when you do that, it's just overkill, and it has no real effect. But if you choose which notes to put it on, so you play some notes straight and some notes with an intense vibrato, it's got a lot more impact. So it's good to practice just holding a note dead straight with no vibrato, and then practice switching the vibrato on and off. Okay, so in the context of this lick, okay, so that vibrato that he uses, that seems to be like his kind of default natural vibrato speed and width. It's a lot wider than what I naturally go to. Mine would be more like that. So I'm having to really kind of make the effort to make it wider to sound more like what Wolf is doing. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so we've got this little kind of shuffle. So here we're going to the 3 half-step bend, and then with a kind of loose open mouth shape, we go into a blow chord. So blow 1, 2, and 3. Could be 2, 3, and 4, thereabouts. And then just move down a little bit and go to a draw, and then move back up again and go to a blow. So we've got 3 draw half step, and then that little shuffle pattern with the chords. and then we're going to the 2 draw, again with that really wide vibrato. And then putting that little chord pattern in between again, and then to end he's just holding out that 2 draw. So, you know, you don't really have to play a lot of notes at all. You know, you can just hang on that one note and make that one note sound as big and, you know, as intense as possible, like he's doing here. So this is something that I teach in my course. There's a whole chapter in the course about, you know, playing a one note solo and how you can add all different types of nuances and different phrasing to a note, using things like, you know, scooping, vibrato, articulations, tongue slaps, things like that, to get the most out of one note so you can be really expressive with it. And then as you go through my course, you start adding in more notes and improvising using the whole scale. But I think one of the things that I teach that a lot of the other courses out there don't teach so much is how to actually get it to sound like you want it to sound. And it's all about these little nuances. So if you're interested in the course, I'll put a link below. If you're a complete beginner and you can't bend a note yet, I also have a free beginner course. I'll put a link down there for that too. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers.